with OH6 GLT leadership. And it's my pleasure to welcome everybody here tonight for orientation presentation with Beth Colley as the leader. And there you go, Beth, it's all yours.
Okay, you want to bring up the charts? As Sherry did say, I am the GMT for District 130H6. I'm in the Beaver Creek Club, and I've got my contact information, my phone number and email up there. So if you need it, you're more than welcome. And then just a short plug, we need more people to buy license plates for the Lions Club. I've got mine. I've had mine when they first came out. Couldn't get my name on there, so I got GMT and then my initials. And when supervisor and ex saw it, he couldn't figure out what the BC stood for. And
you never did tell him your name, did you?
She had other names for me, so that's probably what she was looking for.
Oh.
She was not a great supervisor. Everybody hated her, and needless to say, she got escorted out of the building and was out of the government.
Well, that colored car probably threw her off.
Well, she's from your favorite state, Jay.
Oh,
that's her place.
Therein lies the problem.
there she's
Yeah. Exactly. Yep. So that's my plug. We need to get more people to buy the Lions license plates. We need that support. You want to go ahead, switch slides? From this slide on is templates that I actually downloaded off of LCI. And there you can use them. You can create your own slides. It has no difference on what you do. Next, please. Their first slide started off with our motto. So when you get a new member, it's always good to tell them what the Lions do, or when you're talking to prospective members, what the Lions do. I like to send out, or not send out, but I like to throw out the numbers. You want to go to the next slide, please, Rick? I love this slide. I tell them that we have hit our 100th plus year in Lions, that it was started in 1917 by Melvin Jones. I tell them that we have 1.4 million members and 48,000 clubs in over 220 countries. I just brought in two new members from LCI, sent out the names and phone numbers, and I was talking to the guy and was throwing those numbers out to him, and he had no clue that we were the world's largest service organization, and he was in awe by the numbers. Hopefully it will help out. Hopefully he'll throw numbers out to people interested, but that's right there was my elevator speech on what I do for orientation for the new members, or even talking to prospect members to do that. Tell them we're making the world of difference. And you can see they're still throwing numbers out in there and telling you what we do. Next, please. There we go. Make sure you tell them what our mission is, what our vision is. If you don't have it memorized, probably a good thing to memorize it so that they can get a clear understanding of the mission and the vision. Please. Here, this slide and the next slide basically tell the same thing. It's the history of LCI. I like the next slide better than this slide. This slide tells you in words. There's the slide I like. I like pictures. I'm a picture person. So this to me would be to look at. The other, I'm not a reader. I've never been a book reader. I've never been just a reader of anything. So I like pictures, and like this one has a picture of Melvin Jones so they can get an idea of what he looks like, who started LCI and all that. This one does not anniversary, but I always throw that out saying we hit our 100th year anniversary in 2017, that we were started in 1917. And I always let them know that it was in the Chicago area too, that's where the headquarters are at Oak Brook. Next slide, please. Always talk to them what the benefits are of being a Lion. You can join a community of good, put leadership skills into action, access a global support system, experience the feeling of service. You can even tell them how you feel when you're doing stuff for, might be just maybe your neighbor cutting their grass because they can't do it, or doing something for the community like last year when we had all those tornadoes in the area and some of us were out distributing food and clothing and whatever needs they needed. You just get a different feeling in your heart than just helping, say, your mom or your relative or whatever. Just not quite the same. Don't really know. Next slide, please. Mention the global challenges that you have, or that LCI does have, and tell them about all those, and to ask them. What I do when I talk to them about it is I ask them if there's something in particular that they like somebody might be close to childhood cancer and want to do something on that. It may be they could be a chair for something. They could come up with an idea to fundraiser or a service community activity to help childhood cancer. Could be for vision, could be hunger, could be environment, could be diabetes. If they have a really strong interest in one and say, can the club just maybe concentrate on this, talk to them about possibly being a branch club or seeing if they can get enough members to charter a new club that would just concentrate on diabetes or environment or hunger or vision or child. There's a lot of specialty clubs out there. I know there's a bunch out there for diabetes only. That's all they do. But there's still a Lions Club. They still do a lot of fundraising. They still do a lot of service just on diabetes. So that's an option with it also. Next, please. Leo clubs. Not every club sponsors a Leo club. Bring in a new person, ask them if they have an interest in Leos, talk to them about what the Leos are. Maybe they would be interested in being an advisor for a Leo club at their local high school, or, they could even go through a church if a church is big enough that has 12 to 18 or do campus clubs or whatever. They might have an interest in that, especially if they have kids in that age frame. And those kids might have a lot of friends that would be interested in that. But you could tell them about the Leos Club and what the Leos do, and maybe get an interest sparked out of a new member for that too. Next, please. Tell them about the headquarters. How much the staff is and all that. And let them go through all that and process how big LCI really is with having a headquarters like that. And then you can tell them about all the numbers again, just kind of get that into their head on how big we are. Next, please. Talk about the association. Let them know that we're not, can't think of the word for it, but we leave religion out, we leave politics out, kind of stuff. Tell them about the operations, the finances, service projects, other things that are related to membership and the club life. Next, please. Tell them about LCIF and what LCIF does for basically the whole world in times of natural disasters and whatever else they want to do, like grants to help out, like a local park to help clean it up or put maybe disability playground equipment into it. Let them know about all that. Next, please. Okay, now I just realized 2 slides I've left out of this one, and on the other sample I did, but tell them who our international presidents are and let them know if you can remember where they're from and all that, but make sure that they know we do have international presence.
We have the best.
A good one to say too is let them know that Ohio has international director Steve Thornton right now. So that they know that we're up there in the ranks for now with international directors also. Next, then go to the sample the clubs and all that. Using Beaver Club, since that's my club, but to conform this to your own club, you'd put your club name and club information in these areas. Next, please. So what you want to do on the charts for your clubs like this one, they say, enter the information about your club, the year it was founded, the current number of members, who your officers are, and just various information like that so that they can learn about these people and know who your officers are, know that the club, I believe our club was founded in 1945. So
49,
49,
I believe so.
I was close, Sue. But let them know all that. They'll be interested. If you're working on chartering a new club and these people are going to be in that new club, let them know they're going to be a charter club member. That gets people excited, knowing that they're going to be the first of a new club. Next, please. For serving, let them know what you do within your own club. Let them know the demographics, the history, the culture, the areas of need. If you've done a community needs assessment, this is a good place to put down that we've done this. This is what we found out from people within the community that they would like us to work on. Now, some clubs aren't going to be big enough in membership to have funds coming in to be able to do some stuff. But like I said earlier, LCIF has grants. You can always tell them about the different grants going on. Next, please. Let them know what we do. Tell them about the specific programs that we do, the service community activities, the events, the local partnerships, and don't forget to highlight how your club is serving your community's areas of need. So if your club has not done a community needs assessment, that's a good time to do one so that you can tell the new members or your prospective members that you're talking to about what your club would like to start doing for the community. They may have their foot in the door of something that could be done for that community. They may work in that handles that kind of stuff. You never know. Bringing in members might even help you out with getting other interest stuff going on. Next, please. Tell them how they can get involved. Always make sure when you're out in the public, have an application in your pocket, no matter what. I'm always talking about Lions clubs wherever I go. I either have a shirt on that's a Lions emblem on it or says Lions clubs, or if I don't have a shirt on like that, I'll wear my Lions club pin. I get one that's bigger than the membership pin because those are so small that you can barely read them. but I have one sitting out that's larger than that. And people will see that and say, you know, I've seen coming into the city a plaque that says Lions Club, or I've heard other people saying Lions Club. Can you tell me about that? So always have an application on hand wherever you're at. Right now, the dues for the one-time entrance fee are being waived until the end of this month. Hopefully, with COVID going on, hopefully maybe they'll extend it, because it's been extended a couple times. So we could only hope. If it's extended, let that person know that they wouldn't have to pay the one-time entrance fee. And another good is for the veterans. They're veterans, because I believe that the entrance, I think the veterans have a lower fee, or also tell them about the service areas in your community. Tell them about what you're doing for those in your community. The next one I'm not too fond of, with consider a leadership role in the new club. They would have to, but if they're coming into like our club, I tend not to want to get them into a leadership per se position that is like secretary, treasurer, one of those type roles. Being a district or a trustee, me, that's not a big deal, but I hate to get them. I'd like to have them in the club for about a year before I talk to them about the leadership roles. Because some people don't want to get pushed into that fast. Tell them about the dues that they have to pay, the international club and state dues. Some people aren't fond of paying dues, and what blows my mind is when they join new clubs, they think that they're joining and don't have dues. Well, any club you have, you always have dues, because you're going to pay for admin things like stamps or envelopes, whatever, things like that. But a lot of people, you really do have to pay these dues to keep that club running. Next, please. This slide I put together has, you can find videos. Go to YouTube, Lions Club. You can find all kinds of videos on membership, anything LCIF. They've got videos from all the international conventions that they've recorded, from USA Canada forums, membership, leadership, whatnot. Even the international directors have some on there. The international presidents have some on there, talking about what their plans are for that year, or what they would like to see happen, stuff like that. So I've put links on there for that, and got the links for other resources. And it's basically just go to lionsclub.org. The way that I have learned about most of the stuff I've learned from Lions has not been from my sponsor, and she sponsored me. I think she was in the club for 6 months and then she quit. So I have no idea even if she's even alive or where she's at or whatever. But the way that I've learned about Lions was I went to the lionsclub.org, and I just would click on pages and pages and pages of stuff, and they change constantly. So they're never going to be, something's is going to change on them. So you're never going to know everything you can know about Lions because of the changes. You also want to talk about extension and retention. Those are two extremely important parts of membership also, because if you don't retain your members, you're not going to have a club. You want to have a club because you want to be able to go out to the community and do all these service activities and all that. You want to extend with forming new clubs or even branch clubs until they can become a a full club. So you want to focus a little bit on extension and retention also. Maybe create another like short training session on extension and one on retention. Don't do them all at the same time. The orientation is good for new members and for members that have been in the club for a long time that had no clue what all you need to do, what all needs to be said, things like that. They joined, had no sponsor to really guide them like I did. So it's helpful to go into all these three aspects for all that. Next, please. And I didn't realize that I'm talking way too fast because we're almost done with these charts, but that's okay. I added an acronyms page. I got this from PDG Ken Ibera out from California. He sent Lydia what they used for their club orientation. He had 44 pages to his, and it was in detail. It was amazing. And so when I prepare an orientation for my club directly, I will guide it, base it on his, and it will be more in detail. His was in detail per his club and not just in general for like what I'm doing for right now for the clubs and all that. And I'm going to try to do one based on the district itself for our district. But I'll get up into a club meeting, and Sue O'Weir can tell you this is true. I'll throw out acronyms. And even club members that have been in the club for 10, 15 years will go, what does that mean? They have no idea what some of the acronyms are. So giving a sheet, and I did this with Beaver Creek when I transferred over to them. I printed out the club acronyms and I gave it to all the people, and I don't know what they've done with it or whatever, but always let them know it's like any business. You've got acronyms. So just give them a sheet, talk to them, and see, like when you have your next meeting, say, did you look at it? Can you tell me what a PID is? Can you tell me what a CC is? Things like that. Just kind of quiz them on a couple and see if they've got an understanding of acronyms. And then once they start talking to you in club meetings and stuff, they'll start using them themselves instead of saying the full long drawn out name of it. Next, please. Well, that is an interesting slide.
I want you to explain that. Oh, there.
There we go.
I think I forgot to delete that when I did the charts. Okay, that was up towards the beginning line, Rick. Can you go back? There we go. When we get done with the briefing charts, DG Rick is going to bring up the actual booklet to look at. I've a bunch of them, but your GMTs in your own district, for your district GMTs, they should all have books that they can give you too. But what this is a Lion Orientation Award. And you can see on the left side, when you become a Lion, it's an excellent learning tool because you can go through, there's 6 pages, don't get scared. There are 8.5 pages that are folded in half. So that's why there's 6 pages. There's actually just 3 pages to it. But when you get a new person, tell the sponsor to ask for a booklet and actually get one for them too if they don't have the award, and most people don't. But it's a good way for not just a sponsor, but for the new people to go and learn about stuff. They have to go to a club board meeting, then they have to get a signature on there. They have to work a club fundraiser, do a club service project, go to a zone meeting, go to a meeting that they could meet the district officers, like cabinet meeting, meet a PDG. And if they go to a cabinet meeting, they're going to meet PDGs. Go to a leadership event, which is like your winter retreat, any of your conventions, RLLI, anything like that. They do a little self-reflection, and then they do a little individual goal forming. Then the last page is the application award, where they just have to go and they have to sign it and get like the club president to sign and all that. Once all that's done, they send the book to me. I make sure that every blank is filled out, and then I will initial it, and then I would send it to Charlie, to PDG Charlie, and he'll look at it because he's the state GMT chairperson for the whole state. He'll look at it, he'll sign off on it. When it comes time to order the awards, he will order the awards and send them to all the GMT people to pass out, either at their zone meetings that they attend or their cabinet meetings. I like to pass them out at the district convention. That way, more people see it happening and more people know that that award's out there to participate in it. Next, please. Anybody have any questions on this part? I've got a couple things to show you yet, but we'll go with the charts for right now.
Roger.
Yes, PDG Roger.
Very nice presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
You said we could download this from LCI.
The templates you can, the briefing that I just presented, no, but I can send you the briefing that I presented.
Could you do me a favor?
I can.
Chris Fritz is listening in. He's our membership chair. I'd like for him to get a copy of this.
I can do that. I can send it.
You can send it to me and I'll forward it on to Chris, but I believe he's in the directory.
Okay.
I think.
I am.
Just send it to me.
Okay. Lion Lydia, did you capture everybody that was on here? And I could send it out to everybody if they would like it.
Sure.
Thank you, ma'am.
Second question. How does Chris go about getting one of these orientation award books? You
She'll
remember?
email that too.
Yeah, I can actually email it to you, and then you just have to print it out.
We can do that.
Thank you.
Okay. I probably got about 30 or 40 booklets, but with COVID going on right now and mom high risk and me high risk, we tend not to get out that often. But I can always email these to everybody and you'd have it. So when you had a new member and you could print out a couple, take it to the sponsor and the new member. Not a big deal. And the nice thing about it is when I email it out to you, you don't have to look at each page and go, oh, this is the second page, this is the third page, this is the fourth page, whatnot. Just print it out the way it's sent to you, and when you fold it up, it falls into place. Right, here's and then here's the orientation booklet. You want to scroll to the next page, Rick? Then you see there's just like right there, you have club understanding and some questions to answer and all that, and then get for the Lion signature. And then here you got this club president, and the club president would have to sign it to show that, yes, they are the club president and all that. I'm going to scroll down a little more.
Okay.
And then here's where you get to your self-reflection, your club fundraiser, things like that. Now, this booklet, I will tell you, was more pages than this. Last year, we sat down, the GMT State Committee, we sat down and brought it into more of a perspective where you didn't have to get so many signatures and stuff like that, like your district officers. you had to get like a district governor and I forget what else. There was so many on there that it took a whole half a page. We've condensed it so that there's 2 or 3 items on one half of a page to get signatures for, so it's not as bad as what it was. But I'll get those emailed out to you too.
Great, thank you.
You're welcome. Does anybody have any questions on the booklet? You want to bring up that Word document, please, DG Rick?
You got to figure out, there it is.
Now, when you apply, or when you ask, it used to be when you would ask LCI for a new employee. I've been working, putting new employees into our payroll system all day today. When you have a new member and you get that new package, it used to come in with a book that they would get, that would tell you all kinds of things like the history and stuff like that. They've done away with that. Now you can buy them if you want to, but what I do, and I found it's a lot easier for the new members, and they would rather have this versus getting that book. And it kind of not, I don't want to say forces them, but it gets them a start into the websites. But what I've done was they can go to these to the website for LCI, and you see at the top 1 through 6, and it has all these kind of information. But your orientation will have the new member orientation guide, which is ME 13A, the basic mentoring guide for your sponsor, which is ME 11, things like that. So what I've done is I've put that on there and told, when we get new members, I tell them to go in and search for that stuff, so that way they'll also get used to how to, especially with the new website. I don't like that website at all, but with that website, it will get them learning how to maneuver it, how to see what all's there and all that. Then I've also put the lionsclub.org website on it, the LCIF website. They can go to the LCIF and see what all that has been done through there. The OhioLions.org website for our page for the Ohio Lions. Then I've got the district website on there for our district. You can, and I can send this out to you too, and you can modify it for your own districts or your clubs. And then I have our Beaver Creek Club Clubhouse website on there. And I also have our Facebook page listed on there. So I hand these out, and then I've got, it's not updated. I'm not the membership chair this year, but I am for the district level. So I probably don't have to worry about that. But this is something that's good to give to them. And like I said, if they will do this, they'll go to these different websites. They can bookmark them and all that to see what's going on there. So say 2 weeks from now, they want to go back to that website. They'll have it there bookmarked, just click on it, easy. And I just realized one thing that I want to put on here, Lions University. I'll add that to it too, so that's a good way to learn about Lions too, because you can go to Lions University, take a course on on the president, they've got service community activity courses. They've got all kinds of stuff on there. So they can do that too to learn about Lions. But I'll update this and I'll get all this sent out to everybody. Does anybody have any questions on that? Or any questions in general they would like to ask?
You did a great job.
Thank you. Thank you. I will tell you that from 2012 and beyond that, going backwards, I would not have been able to do this. I will tell you, I credit Jay Carey, Sherry Bingaman. They got me into that, convinced me to do that first Regional Lions Leadership Institute. I was petrified at public speaking. Did it the second year, I was still petrified, but not as much as I was. In fact, there were a couple of us that actually not to make us do the public speaking session. I was one of them, and a past council chair was one of them. But I would not have been able to do this without that Regional Lions Leadership Institute training. So when it gets back to being offered again, due to all this stuff, I highly encourage you to talk to all your club members about doing that weekend. They may not need public speaking, but it's just not all public speaking. There was a multitude of sessions, and all of them helped me, but public speaking really came out because now people tell me to shut up.
I'd have had second thoughts had we known what we were unleashing.
Doesn't always work, but they tell me that. But yeah, if anybody has any questions, feel free. My email is ecauley@woh.rr.com. It's in the directories for both state and our district at least. So if you have any questions, concerns, anything, just contact me and I'll be glad to help you out.
Sounds like a plan.
Sounds good, Ann.
Okay, thank you, Lion Beth. Great job.
Thank you.
I'd like to tell everybody that coming up in January, there's going to be more sessions coming up on different things. I don't have the date set yet, but I'm working on one now that's going to be called The Tale of the Three Cheeses. So be looking for a date for that. And thank you all for coming and participating. Great job, Beth.
Thank you, and thank you all for coming in, participating on my side too.
Job,
Thanks,
Beth.
Thank you.
you,
Good
Beth.
job.
Good job.
Thank you.
Way to go,
Thank
Ding Dong. I mean,
Good job,
Beth.
Beth.
All right,
You better
good job,
be nice
Beth.
today. I'll send that ex-supervisor your way.